Welcome to the NFL Week 14 preview on the Amateur Hour. We're joined by Dave. Quick congratulations to Jacob Waldschmidt on winning Week 13 pick'em. He got the Monday night game wrong, but he just picked the most points for the total, and that got him the W. So good work there, Jake. We'll get those Venmos out today. Dave, why don't you kick us off and tell us what your lock of the week is for Week 14?
Yeah, Jake, congrats. First of all, I don't know who you are, but nice job winning the league. Glad to donate my money to you. It's going to a good cause. So, my lock of the week this week, I'm going to go with the Rams +7 at Baltimore. Doesn't make me super comfortable or warm and fuzzy inside, but the Rams have been competing well the last couple weeks. They had a good win on the road against Seattle. They had a good win this week against the Browns at home, where they put up a decent amount of points. Browns defense, I was thinking that was going to be a low scoring game. The Browns defense is really good. I took the under in that game,
36
and it
points.
and it went over. Yeah, the Rams offense has been clicking. Even with Puka Nacua kind of banged up, they still have Cooper Kupp out there healthy again. So, Matt Stafford is a legend in this league, and he knows how to figure out how to put points on the board. So I think 7 points is a pretty big spread and kind of disrespectful to Stafford and the Rams. So I think the Ravens do win. I wouldn't take Rams money line on the road, but I think it's less than 7.
We're gonna give you +7.5 because that's what I'm seeing on DraftKings.
All right, I love the 7.5. Thanks.
That
If I
makes it
loved it at
clean.
7, I love it at 7.5.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texas on the road against the Jets. Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson don't know for sure who's gonna be starting the game. I think the because of that, the preparation is gonna be a little off. Um, the over under is really low, which makes me a little concerned, like 34.5 points. But then I remember that the New York Jets can score about 10 points. So I could see this game being like 10 to 24, 10 to 21, something like that.
And the Jets
Um,
defense is good.
Jets defense is good, but I'm very confident in the Houston Texas offense to put a couple, at least two touchdowns on the board and maybe a field goal.
You don't think it's going to bother their offense having take Tank Dell out for the season? That's a pretty big loss for them.
That'll hurt. Um, because he's been balling, but I really think Nico Collins can step up. I know they have Dalton Schultz. They do have some other young wide receivers that would probably need to. I can't remember his name. Is it? Oh, John Mechie. He's another one that maybe could come out of the woodworks. But I think they'll be pumped up for this game because they know that the Jets defense is so good, and they'll be hearing about people talking about, oh, you won't be able to score on them. But I think they'll have success.
Yeah, that's a good segue into my fantasy stud of the week. Kind of mentioned Tank Dell was kind of the number one guy for CJ Stroud. He was a guy that advocated for the Houston Texans to draft him in the first place. Threw him the ball a ton. So I'm going to go with my fantasy stud of the week, Noah Brown. Noah Brown was an ex-Cowboy. He came over to the Texans, kind of was a role player on the Cowboys, but has done a pretty good job this year on Houston. I think he's going to step up big time. John mentioned John Mechie, him as well. But I'm going to go Noah Brown because he's just had a little bit more volume so far this year.
Yeah,
So I like the volume over Mechie's volume.
I forgot about him. He's had some good weeks, right? Like over
Yeah,
20 fantasy points in
yeah,
PPR. So,
yep.
I have. I'm gonna go. I just like the matchup. So the Broncos are at the Chargers. I'm gonna go Cortland Sutton. Seems like Russell Wilson likes to find him in the end zone. So
For sure.
maybe maybe like one touchdown, 90 yards, six catches or something like that. So I'll take Cortland Sutton. That seems to be Russell's favorite receiver these past couple weeks. So we'll
I
stick.
believe he's like second in the NFL in touchdowns for receiving touchdowns for wide
Oh,
receiver behind Tyreek Hill. So yeah, he gets a lot of touchdowns, which is really nice. He's a good player to have in fantasy for sure.
yeah, it's interesting. I follow the Dynasty community on like Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, podcasts. So I listen to it all. And this year the community was really high on Jerry Jeudy, low on Cortland Sutton. They were really low on Michael Pittman, really high on Calvin Ridley. So if you can, there, it just seems to always happen. There's guys that everyone is sure are going to do well this year and they suck. And then they're sure that this guy is washed. He's done. Adam Thielen's another example. And they just ball out because I guess groupthink is just usually wrong.
That's why I know that we can always keep podcasting no matter how wrong we are, because there's these people that do it as professionals and they're also just as wrong. It's like doing this kind of stuff is kind of like being a weatherman. You just put your opinions out there and whatever happens, happens. People can't really hold you that accountable because you're just kind of going with your gut and going with what you think is going to happen. And sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. I would like to have these weathermen be a little bit more reliable, but people like me, I mean, we make it very clear just by the name itself of the podcast, Amateur Hour. Do not take our advice when
Yeah.
putting your money on the line. So we appreciate those people that listen. Especially my cousin. Shout out Anna Gray. She's messaging me after every episode with her thoughts on my shitty takes. So I
Wow.
appreciate you, Anna, for listening.
Thank you.
She's
I'm
one of
sure
the
she,
5 viewers every episode.
yeah, I'm sure she likes hearing your rants. I think that's probably what she really
You
enjoys.
think so?
Yeah. Um, Quick before we get into what game you're looking for, we're two in the week 14. You were talking about people being wrong. I think on that Sunday night matchup, I think all of the experts on Sunday Night Football picked the Chiefs to win that game, if I'm not mistaken.
So we're talking about last week or this
Yeah,
upcoming week?
yeah, last week.
Yeah, Packers. It was a classic case of ref bias versus ref
Oh
bias.
my
Both
God.
those teams have the refs on their side every single game. So when they put them against each other, the refs were very confused. They didn't know where to go. And since it was in Lambeau, they had to lean towards the Lambeau because the fans, of the Packers were there. So they would have got rocks thrown at them and spit on and all that stuff. So that pass interference no call at the end to Marquez Valdez-Scantling was one of the worst no calls I've ever seen watching NFL football. And then the next play or whatever play, two or three plays after on the Hail Mary, Travis Kelce definitely had a chance at it and was shoved from behind. I mean, a lot of the times they don't call those on the Hail Mary, so I don't blame them for not
No,
calling that
not
one.
a lot of the times.
But the
Never.
Valdez-Scantling play was brutal.
Okay. Have you watched the Valdez Scantling play?
I watched it live. I watched the replay. It was pass interference.
Okay. What it reminded me of James Harden. It reminded me of James Harden in the NBA when he gets guys to jump off the ground and then leans into him to draw the foul and shoots. Because that ball was one underthrown, and so they're both running, and Valdez Scantling just like stops, just
Well,
puts the brakes on.
how many pass interferences do you see on underthrown shitty balls? That's just
They
part of the
shouldn't be
game.
called though.
Well, it's part of the game. If you're interfering with the catch, it's pass interference. That's the name of the.
I'm just
You
saying when I
you can't
watched
say
it,
no foul, shitty throw,
no, but they do say no foul if it's an uncatchable ball, right?
uncatchable. Uncatchable is overthrown. You can't so call like an underthrown ball uncatchable.
Okay. To me, it looked like he wasn't trying to go catch the ball. He was just trying to draw the pass interference. That's what it looked like to
I
me.
didn't even think it was that underthrown. You always do your little stupid little highlights. Why don't you pull that one up and let's take a look at it.
Okay.
I think that it was a blatant no call. You at the game?
Yes.
So you're completely biased. They probably didn't even show any replays on the
No,
replay screen
I
because
will
of how
admit,
bad it
and
was.
I will I
You were
will
probably
admit,
like 8 Coors Lights deep,
no, I
freezing
was
your
not.
dick off.
In
Yeah,
the
you're
moment,
definitely
I
biased.
was like, "Ooh, that we got away with one."
Yeah, okay.
That was my
So
initial reaction.
so if your live initial reaction was you got away with one, trust your initial gut because you definitely got away with one. Yeah, that was brutal. Everyone I've talked to ever since that happened thinks it was brutal. Chiefs fans, normal NFL fans. I mean, they got robbed. And I had Chiefs -5, so I was praying for overtime. I was praying for touchdown there or touchdown soon, and then a 2 point conversion, and then overtime with a Chiefs touchdown to win it by 6. But so
You-
my
you-
my go.
Can I say a quick rant?
Yeah, go.
I think that with sports betting being so prominent now and everyone's sports betting, that the reffing hasn't actually been worse than in past years, but now more than ever because people have like $3 on a stupid 10 leg parlay to win like $1,000, and then it's the NFL. Like crazy shit's always going to happen. They just get pissed at the refs, and so because Timmy from Arkansas has $5 on the game, he goes on Twitter and just fucking rants and rants and rants about the reffing or the coaching or the players. And like because people are putting money on the line, they're like more critical than ever on every single thing in sports now. And it is exhausting to watch and listen to.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't think like the ridicule against the refs has gotten worse necessarily. I think like maybe there's a bigger microscope on it because of the sports betting, because like these calls impact games so much. But I also just think refs are just historically bad. And like, but being a ref at a game, like an NFL game, is tough. I mean, I don't
And they're
like
part-time.
catching every holding call, catching every, like there's a lot of difficult calls to make, but like a deep ball, Hail Mary, pass interference is the easiest call to make. Like he either interfered with the catch or he didn't. If they're both hand fighting and pushing, then it's kind of usually a no call. But if he blatantly like gets on his back and like hits his arms down, that's a pass interference. One on
Okay.
one, easiest thing to call. People are upset, yeah, because it does impact like the lines and their little parlays and stuff. But
I got to tell you though, even though like I will agree that it like maybe it should have been a pass interference, even if it should have been, that doesn't impact the game. Like the reffing does not impact the game 8 points. Like the Chiefs lost because they couldn't score in the red zone. That
yeah,
was
I
their
don't disagree.
problem.
That's why I'm not saying the refs. It's not the refs' fault about the whole game.
No. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Great. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
All right, let's watch. Let's see what we think here. And this is a replay, it looks like.
Yeah, slow.
Slow motion, even better. Okay,
Look
so he's
at
slowing down.
here I
It's a little
come.
underthrown.
Here I
You're
stop
right.
because
He tackled him. He gets
because it
on his
was thrown
he climbs on his
behind him.
back, puts his arms down, and knocks it out of the way.
Dog, this is a
Oh, look at it. He's wrapped around his neck, John.
dog, this is a James Harden draw foul if I've ever seen one.
Dude, there's no such thing as that if you're a wide receiver going for a ball. It was underthrown. I don't disagree with you, but that doesn't mean that the cornerback can obstruct his lane to catch the ball and climb on his back.
Let's watch it in real time
Yeah, I
so you
want to
can
watch it in
see.
real time. It's even worse in real time. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, "What? Oh, dude, that is the most blatant pass interference I've ever seen."
I disagree. I think it was just trying to draw the pass
That's
interference.
like that Rams Saints playoff game when he like why they changed the pass interference rule was because of a play like that.
No, it was the Vikings Saints.
No, it wasn't. It was Rams Saints, but
It
thank you
was
for
Rams
trying.
Saints.
Yeah. It was like it was that was a different year when
Look
the
at where
Stephon
that ball
Diggs.
is though, dude.
What about the ball? He deserves every right to
He
go catch
throws
that
his
ball
left arm back to even touch it with his fingertips after slowing down.
because the cornerback is pushing him forward so he can't get to the ball. Look, he can't get back to the ball because the cornerback is on his back.
No, the cornerback runs into him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why he's reaching back because he's getting pushed forward and the ball is going backwards. So he's like trying to reach it, but he's getting pushed and obstructed to go catch the ball. That's the problem.
It was a shit pass. That's what it was. Okay, watch. Slows way down. Slows.
What do you think is wrong with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense? Do you think it's Matt Nagy? Do you think it's the virus of Matt Nagy has caught onto the Chiefs and just infected everyone?
Is this his first year or second year?
Second year, I think. They won a
Okay.
Super Bowl with him, I think.
Um, he certainly looked bad in that final drive Mahomes did. Like he was just like throwing it out of bounds after 2 seconds. They just don't. I don't know if he's doesn't have trust in his receivers besides Kelsey. Um,
Yeah, they have no weapons at all.
it just
Usually they
what
don't have really weapons, but they have no weapons this year.
just watching the game, it didn't look like guys were really getting open.
No,
Like
no,
because we could
they
see
don't
the whole
have
field, you know, when
their
you're
players
sitting there
can't
like,
separate, and if they do separate, they have stone hands.
yeah, like Marquez Valdez-Scantling, we've seen him work on the Packers and he's got the stoners.
Big time stoners, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, do you think if he didn't get pass interfered with, he even catches that ball?
Probably not, but that's you can't. I mean, he was praying for pass interference, dude, because he
That's
can't
all
catch
he
shit.
wanted, dude. He said, "Don't make
Yeah,
me catch this fucking ball. I just want pass
yeah. He
interference."
was so happy the cornerback pushed the shit out of him because he was like, "I need a pass interference here because
It's the
my ass
only
is
way we're
dropping
gonna get
this."
this ball up
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So, how did we? I don't know how we got on that topic.
You started talking about the Chiefs Packers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, it was a fun game. Electric to be at. Great game. Great for Packers morale. Going forward, if you look, they got a very easy schedule.
Yeah,
Um,
Packers are probably going to make it to the playoffs, most likely win the Super Bowl. So Super excited for that. They look good. They're turning things around. Jordan Love looks like an MVP candidate.
Oh
The
my
young
God.
wide receivers are figuring it out. Watson looks really impressive. Jaden Reed, we've already seen he can make a difference in this league. Romeo Dobbs is a good. He's turned into a good number three. You don't even have your best running back and arguably your best offensive player. So still making things happen and getting wins on the board. So I'm kind of getting scared about the Packers.
Yeah, it was if you would have told me that they would have beat the Chargers, Lions, and Chiefs 3 weeks ago, I wish I could have parlayed that because that would have been a crazy ass win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I gotta say, I hate to say it, but I'm impressed with the Packers and Jordan Love and what they're doing.
Yeah. And then Nick Dilts has been getting shit in our dynasty league because he early in the year he would just shit on Jordan Love every chance he got. And now I think one of the recent texts was like that accountant meme with that little kid working like the calculator. And one of the guys in the chat said, Jets fan Nick Dill's trying to spin this so it looks like Aaron Rodgers rocks and Jordan Love sucks after they beat the Chiefs. Because I don't know if you saw Aaron Rodgers is not coming back now.
No shit.
It's
It's
almost
all
like
just a ploy to get attention
he
because
just needed attention.
he's such an attention whore, dude. He's
Poor
always been
widow
this way.
Allen.
You've been so blind to it as a Packers fan, but now you see it. He loves the spotlight and loves the attention.
Dog.
So he wants, dude, he tore his Achilles like 2 months ago. There's no point to come back to the shitty Jets. Just come back next year and hope that you can be better.
And then did you see that Little Wayne intro for the Sunday
No.
Night Football? I'll send it to you. But it's kind of a Little Wayne kind of disses Aaron Rodgers.
Lil Wayne being a Packers fan is the lamest shit ever.
No,
Packers fans should look like you, not like Lil Wayne.
no, I love Little Wayne, dude. And he's
Yeah.
like 5 feet tall, so when he runs out with the team, he looks like
Yeah,
kind of
he's
like a
really
little
short.
elf in
Yeah,
a Christmas sweater.
should not be a Packers fan. It doesn't make sense.
I enjoy it though. But yeah, no, feeling good about that. Did the Bears play this week?
No, we had a bye. There was 8 teams on a bye, so kind of a big bye week
Tough
for
fantasy
everybody.
week.
My fantasy players were all on a bye, but I squeaked out 3 wins, went 3-0 on or 1-0 in
Wow.
all 3 leagues. One league, I want to send a special shout out to Zach Heisterkamp. Lives in Milwaukee, Wisconsin now. He was beating me by 50 points going into Monday Night Football. I had 2 players,
Ooh.
Joe Mixon and Evan Ingram, and they combined for 51, so I took them down.
Whoa. That
Yeah,
hurts.
that overtime was clutch.
Yeah.
I was down 2 going into overtime, and then Joe Mixon Ingram started with a couple catches, Mixon had a couple of runs and catches, and ended up winning the matchup. So
Yeah. If you ever have a fantasy player on a team, you are rooting for overtime.
yeah, it's amazing. Overtime's the best.
Yes. It's just like 10 more minutes to score, catch a couple more balls,
Yeah.
run a couple more yards. Yeah.
And both teams ended up having the ball in overtime. That was clutch. That was
Yeah.
a pretty crazy game last night. I mean,
Very good.
Trevor Lawrence looks like he gets sniped in the leg. He's just absolutely. I was texting my buddies. I was like, "This is how I looked after I tore my ACL and meniscus, dude. Like, you can't put any weight on it. You can like feel it instantly. You like look like completely like disabled." That's how like Alba and Coleman were carrying me out of the gym. The way that he was like walking through the aisle or through the whatever you call it, the tunnel. So I was texting him. I'm like, this is not looking good for Lawrence or the Jags. But then I get an alert this morning. He had high ankle sprain. So that'll probably be a couple weeks. Like high ankle sprain
Yeah.
serious, but he should be back by playoffs.
Yeah. I think it's usually 4 to 6 weeks, isn't it?
They
Sometimes a little
yeah,
shorter.
they would have really preferred to get a win there and been 9-3, but now they're 8-4. They do have a decent little cushion, but yeah, that sucks for the Jags and sucks for Trevor Lawrence. But he should be back for the playoff run.
Yeah. This week, primetime sucks ass, major ass. Thursday night, you have the Patriots and the Steelers over under 30 points. So that'll be really a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm not even watching that. That's
No.
gonna be a date night where I make one of those sacrifices. Hey, I know there's football on, Jackie, but we should do something together.
And you look like
spend
the good guy,
yeah,
right?
and then you get some brownie points for the week. Yeah.
Titans, Dolphins, on Sunday night.
Yeah,
No,
another turd.
no. There's 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, there's 2 Monday night games this week.
2 turd Monday night games. Okay,
The Packers, I think, are playing Monday, aren't they?
yeah, Packers play the Giants.
Shit
And
game.
Titans and Dolphins. So Monday
Shit,
night sucks.
double shit. Monday's gonna be another date night.
Sunday night, Eagles, Cowboys.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, what is I don't know what to make of the Eagles at this point, dude. I mean, I've never been a big Jalen Hurts guy. I'm still not a big Jalen Hurts guy. He kind of choked against the Niners. They were at home. I took him +3. I'm thinking, come on, you're a Super Bowl contender. You're at home. Figure it out,
Hmm.
But Brock Purdy went in there and just like pulled down their pants and spanked their asses. I mean,
Yeah.
this guy Brock Purdy, man, he's proven me wrong. I was a big Brock Purdy hater, but he's been playing well, even though he has like 1,000 MVP candidates around him as skill players. So, and the best offensive mind in the NFL running the show. But you know what? The 49ers are doing well. They went on that terrible skid, but now they're figuring it out again, and
Hmm.
they're going to be scary come playoff time.
Yeah, Greg Olson went on because I don't know if he called that game, but he went on and said when he talks to that Kyle Shanahan, Shanahan says that Brock Purdy may not be the most like talented quarterback, but he can make the reads faster than any quarterback he's ever worked with. So like he can say, nope, not open, nope, not open, as quicker than anyone.
Yeah, he processes well, reads the defense well, and knows the scheme really well too.
And that was the big hit because they do a test on that in the combine, right? There's
Yeah,
some
like
intellectual
reaction
test.
time, and yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was knocking CJ Stroud because he didn't do well on this test. They're like, oh, he's going to suck in the NFL. He can't process quickly. And look at him now.
Dude, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you stroke yourself about CJ Stroud when I was the one that was on him first. So
Okay.
we do this song and dance every episode, John.
All right. What about the other big one? I think is the Chiefs Bills.
Yeah, big game for the Bills mainly. Chiefs can afford to lose this game, but the Bills really can't. The Bills have like a brutal schedule toward at the end of their year, and they've played a couple of those games already. But they got to win this game against the Chiefs. Isn't it at Arrowhead?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's
at
tough.
Arrowhead, that's a tough place to play, especially this
Yeah.
time of year. It's going to be cold, but the Bills can play in the cold. But they gotta really be ready to rock and roll. I mean, they're coming off a bye, so that's an advantage. Bills, they're going to be a little bit more fresh than the Chiefs. The Chiefs are coming off kind of a demoralizing loss at Lambeau, so Bills. This is a must win for the Bills. Otherwise, their playoff chances are out the window.
Yeah. Also the Seahawks kind of in the NFC. They're fighting for a wild card spot. They got a really hard I think they have the 49ers this week, and I don't know if it gets I think they got the Rams one more time. But they got a tough schedule going forward. Um then the other team that's got a wild card spot. I think it's the Cowboys.
Cowboys have like the number one wild card spot right now. What about the Vikings?
Oh, the
What do they
Vikings,
have?
yeah.
Vikings have a tough stretch because there's a special needs guy that sits next to me at work, and he's a big Vikings fan. That's on brand, but he talks to me about like their schedule coming up. They play the Lions twice. They have like
Oh,
Lions,
yes.
Packers, Lions, I think.
Yes.
So they have like a tough end of their year to try to get that wild card spot, but we'll see
Yeah.
how that plays out because they've looked like shit the last couple of weeks with Dobbs in there, who is apparently the Lord and Savior coming to rescue them and take them to the motherland like Case Keenum, but Josh Dobbs is turning into the astronaut, as I talked about on the last week's podcast.
Nice. That's a good one. That's
Yeah,
very good.
thanks.
Well, clever. Yeah, so I think honestly, I think the game I'm looking forward to most is that Sunday night matchup. Eagles Cowboys division rivalry, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the rematch of the Packers or the Bears Lions. The Bears choked away a game against the Lions a couple weeks ago, so they play them again. They're at home this time. 3.5 points is a little
That's
too
not
close of a
bad.
spread. It's a little nerve wracking there, but the Bears played them well last time. They did turn them over like 4 times, so that's not going to happen again. So they're going to have to just capitalize on their regular drives and regular opportunities instead of winning the turnover battle, which most likely won't happen. I mean, maybe, but 40.5, that's a pretty low over under. I mean, maybe that over is kind of intriguing. Because the
Oh,
Lions defense, they've been looking vulnerable lately. They
hmm.
gave up 28 to the Saints with a combined Derek Carr, Jameis Winston performance. So I think and they got smoked by the Packers on Thanksgiving. So the Lions defense is vulnerable. The offense can still put up some points. The Bears defense has been playing really well, which is kind of surprising. It's a little bit scary because it makes me think Matt Eberflus might be around to stay if he keeps doing a good job with the defense, which is why he was hired in the first place.
Oh no.
But yeah, that's what makes me really nervous is if Eberflus stays. My dream situation would be to hire a new head coach like Jim Harbaugh, hire a new offensive coordinator like Ben Johnson, and demote Matt Eberflus to defensive coordinator, but he would never take a demotion. I don't think so.
You don't think so? His
No,
ego is
not
too big. He's
no
not a
one would
team
do
guy.
that, but realistically, like you should do that. I mean, if you were a shithead coach one place, I mean, we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like this take that I'm about to have is wrong because we've seen it, we've seen it play out. But if you were a terrible head coach one place, the odds of you getting another head coach in place like job somewhere else are low. But realistically, they're not, because look at Frank Reich, look at
Yeah,
these
unless
coaches
you're
that have done shitty and then they get other opportunities somewhere else. But realistically, if you've been a bad head coach one place, you're not going to be a good head coach somewhere else magically. But you were a good coordinator originally with Indianapolis. Then you were head coach with Chicago, and maybe that's not a good job for you. So now you could be a good defensive coordinator again somewhere else, including Chicago, where you've already been for a couple of years. You already know the defense. The players know you. They know the scheme. They're starting to, click with the scheme. So realistically, it makes a lot of sense to take the demotion, you know, run the defense just strictly and let someone else run the whole program. But I don't think any man would ever do that. But he kind of does seem a little cucky to me. So maybe he will kind of take that step back.
well, he does know all the staff, he knows everyone that's in the building, the GM, all the players. Like
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah.
an easy transition, right?
Exactly. You would think it's like an easy no brainer. Like you're either gone from Chicago and looking for a new job somewhere else, hoping that someone gives you a chance, or you come back to Chicago, you take a little bit of a pay cut, but you get to focus strictly on the defense and maybe create some opportunities down the road for you to maybe be a head coach again somewhere else.
I have an interesting question for you. Who do you think is the most handsome head coach in the NFL?
The most handsome, I gotta say, I probably got to give that to Matt LaFleur. I think the guy, he's got good style. I like when he rocks like the vest, on the sideline. I think it's like a
Yeah.
modern day coaching thing that I can get behind. I think he's a good looking coach. I was telling Jack he's got a real clean fade when we were watching the Sunday night game. So I got to give it to Matt LaFleur.
Okay. Yeah, other ones we had talked about this weekend was maybe Sean McVay.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little muskratty looking to me, but yeah, decent looking guy. Kyle Shanahan's up there. He's a handsome dude.
Maybe O'Connell from
Bill
the
Belichick.
Vikings. No, not Bill
No,
Belichick.
O'Connell looks like a vampire. Like he's got kids in his basement. I'm not an O'Connell guy.
Okay.
Matty Eberflus, he's creepy as hell. Looks like he runs like an ice cream truck trying to capture kids.
I don't think you're gonna get who I'm gonna pick. I don't think you would guess it.
Who you think the sexiest coach in the league is?
Most handsome.
Arthur Smith for the Falcons.
No. D'Amico Ryan from the Texans.
Oh yeah, wow, nice. Yeah.
You look at him, dude, he's nicely
You
built.
you want to just rub your hands on that smooth bald head, huh?
Yeah, I mean, and he's got kind eyes, and he's always I mean his stylist isn't as good as Matt LaFleur's, but I think D'Amico Ryan's a full package.
Okay. Yeah, you got D'Amico Ryan's coming out of John's bracket, going against Matt LaFleur coming out of my bracket. So
That's tough. It's tough, but I
that's a
think
good
he can.
matchup.
I think if there was a push-up contest, I think D'Amico Ryan
Yeah,
could
any
win.
sort of wrestling match, oiled up wrestling match or just boxing match, D'Amico Ryan's whooping his ass.
Yeah. So now for the least handsome, who would you take?
The ugliest head coach in the league. Let's see. Off the top of my head, I got to go. My top three would have to be Andy Reid,
Yep.
probably Bill Belichick.
Yep.
Oh, put Robert Saleh under handsome. Robert Saleh's a handsome
Yes,
guy
yes, I would
too.
agree with that.
Yeah, if you're a liker of the bald guys, he's up there for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, Blaine. Maybe Arthur Smith. I mean, I already mentioned him, but he's
Those are
pretty
my
ugly,
three.
pretty
Those are
ugly
my
dude.
exact
Yeah.
three. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I can't really think of any other. I mean, Dan Campbell's pretty ugly, kind of big, burly,
But
scary
he's
looking
kind of
guy.
like I could see where some people would be like, he's like a decently in shape, really tall guy.
Yeah, he's definitely in shape. I mean, ex NFL player but it looks like he like protects like some cabin in the woods with an axe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So
I won't argue that one.
yeah,
There's some of these teams though, I don't know who the coaches are. Like, I don't know who the coaches of the the Panthers now after Frank Reich's gone. I don't know who the coach is of the Saints.
Saints is he used to be their defensive coordinator when they had Sean Payton. He's like a little guy. He kind of looks like he's shorter. Looks like Will Cleveland a little bit. Kind of shorter
Okay.
guy, decent looking dude. But yeah,
I don't mean to kick him when he's down, but if he was still coaching, I'd probably put that guy that was at the Raiders in there. That got just booted.
Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not bad looking. Come on. Maybe yeah, John Gruden looks like a grown Chucky doll. I would agree with that.
Okay. No, Josh McDaniels, I think. Let me just look at him quick.
Oh, Mike McCarthy's ugly as hell, dude. He looks like
Oh yeah,
Shrek.
that's
Yeah,
good.
put Mike McCarthy up there for ugly coaches.
Where would you
Ma-
put that Eagles coach?
he's on the handsome bracket, I would say.
You
I
put him
forget his
more on the
name,
handsome side?
Srirachi or something like that. Srirachi. Nick,
Dude,
help me out.
Sirianni.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we've wasted way too much time talking about this shit.
Dude, this is this guy looks like a poor man's who's the Mint Mobile actor? Ryan Reynolds.
Mint Mobile? What the fuck is that?
Okay, there's Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds, right?
I think maybe before the playoffs, we make an ugly bracket where we put the 16 ugliest coaches and then the handsome bracket with the 16 handsomest coaches, and we do seeding. We seed them. Maybe we pull our pick'em league. We pull to see what seed people would be,
Yeah.
and then we create a bracket and take votes. So we go off votes.
Okay, that's a good idea. And then we'll have like 3 votes. And
Yeah,
so he looks like a poor Ryan Reynolds.
yeah, a little bit of like a chubby Ryan Reynolds. Yeah,
The forehead's too long.
yeah, if someone photoshopped Ryan Reynolds to be a little bit uglier.
Yeah. So I guess you're right. He's not bad. I misspoke on that one.
Yeah, if anybody's calling you a poor man was Ryan Reynolds, I mean that's a compliment in my book.
Yeah. The Bill Belichick coaching tree kind of sucks though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I didn't want to talk about this, but I think we always should recap the picks from last week, and you weren't on, so I know you don't give a shit. But I had Eagles plus 2.5 versus the 49ers at home. Terrible pick. The 49ers blew them out. And then Sepka had the Chiefs minus 6.5 at the Packers. Terrible pick. Packers blew them out. Didn't blow them out, but won by 8, so one-handedly.
So it was a 15 point. He was off by 15 points only.
So that takes my record to the year to 6-7, which is on brand for how my season is going, and then takes the guest record to 3-6,
Nice.
which is not on brand because a lot of times the guest is a winner, but Sepka is probably responsible for 2 of those losses.
He is, yeah. Thank you, Sepka, for coming on. I didn't know. I didn't get time to watch that one yet, but we appreciate you coming on, Sepka, and filling in.
Yeah, he's a good fill-in co-host, so you should check it out. It's a good episode. So if you haven't watched it yet, you should check it out.
Yeah, I always like Sepka's always he can go on rants too, and that's I think what you want. You want someone that can go on, just a 30-second rant.
Yeah,
That's
you got it.
Not just like once you go on your rant, David, then I just go, yeah.
Yeah, and two special guys, with great fantasy picks. I had Jaylen Warren, who had 6. Sepka's never even heard of Jaylen Warren, but he had 6 points. And then Sepka had David Njoku. I told him he had Joe Flacco at quarterback, and he had 2.7 points. So
Good.
So hoping nobody took that advice by playing those guys. I took my own advice and started Jaylen Warren, and that didn't go well. So
Are you looking good for the playoffs? Do you think you're gonna slide in?
I don't know. In Alex Allball's league, I started 0-7. But I've rattled off 6 straight, so I'm 6-7 now.
Wow.
So now I'm like the fourth or fifth seed in the league.
Wow. Out of 12 or 10?
10.
6 in the playoffs?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that probably doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, I'm in 6th place. 6 out of 10. So I got a chance. I think there's 6 in the playoffs, I hope. Otherwise,
Nice.
I'm screwed.
All right, 30 seconds. Give us what about the other ones?
Nobody really cares, but yeah, I'm 9-4 in Nate Morehouser's league out of a 12-man league. I'm in 2nd place, so that's good. And then I played the 2nd place team in my fantasy league with my buddies back home. I've done for like 12 years. So in that league, let me think. I just won. I beat him, but I'm still in 3rd place. So he's 10-3. I'm 8-5. So, but I'm proud of 3rd place. I'm gonna make the playoffs, so that looks good.
Yeah, good work.
How are you looking in your dynasty league? Looking okay?
Yeah, if I win this week, I'm in.
Okay, so it's a big week for you, which is good because last year you were the worst team in the league.
And the matchup is against the 8th seed right now, or the 8th team, 8th best team. So like, there's a chance. It's a coin flip, but there's a chance I can win.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Happy Thanksgiving.